It's April 18th, which means it's tax day here in the United States. The perfect day to talk about Tax Heaven 3000, the anime dating simulator that helps you file your taxes. Yes, this is real. Why should this surprise anyone? We live in a world with a KFC dating simulator. I heard about this game when it made news after getting banned on Steam. Something about asking people for their social security numbers, which is honestly pretty genius if you ask me. Think about it. You're on a hot date with TurboTax Chan, and all of a sudden she says, "Anon, if you give me your social security number, I'll show you my boobs." And then some horny weeb will just fork over his social security number just so he could see a naked PNG. And don't tell me that's unrealistic. People fork stuff over for women online all the time, whether they're real girls or virtual girls. It doesn't matter. I doubt that the creators of this game are trying to scam people out of their information, but I'm still going to fantasize about it. Although the game got taken off of Steam, it is still available on itch.io, which is where I snatched it from. Disclaimer, I already filed my taxes and sent them to the IRS before playing this game, okay? I don't know how it could happen, but I just envision a scenario where this game ends up sending off false info I input into it to the IRS, and I get screwed over with the federal government, okay? I don't want that to be like my Sunny V2 downfall video. Going to jail over a dating simulator for tax fraud. Enough with the paranoia, let's just get to the game. It starts off like a normal dating simulator. At least I think it does. I've only ever played dating simulators like Doki Doki Literature Club, the KFC dating simulator, and the Dead by Daylight dating simulator. You know, the oddball meme ones. The game asks for your info, and I'm playing it safe by falsifying as much info as possible. I'm not saying this game is a scam and it's gonna take away your information or anything like that. It's just, why would you risk it and give it your actual information? Especially something as sensitive as your tax return information of all things. After creating a normal alias for my guy, I headed into town and ran into a girl named Iris. IRS. Clever. So you run into Iris, who I could only find one Rule 34 image of online. I just checked it, and to be honest, this is more surprising to me than the fact that there's a dating simulator about filing your tax returns. Iris immediately starts asking you questions about your US citizenship. Then she gives you a pencil. You know, in case you want to write down something like your social security number. You know, stuff that normal girls do during introductions. Iris has to get back to work, but wants to meet with you tomorrow. So day 2, and you meet up with Iris and she starts hammering you with more questions. Like, are you filing singly or jointly on your 2022 federal tax return? I like that it has a pause of embarrassment if you tell the game you're filing single on your taxes. It's just like the game is mocking you like, wait, you're single? God, what a nerd. She also asks you if you're married, which has me wondering, could I romance her if I file married on my taxes? Like, as far as the IRS is concerned, you know, I'm married and I'm a loyal partner, but as far as Iris is concerned, I'm single and not married. Yes, I'm having spicy fantasies about a dating game on doing taxes. If you know anything about filing taxes in the US, you'll be familiar with the other questions she throws at you. I answered all these truthfully because I don't want any extra steps that come with the other options. I'll stick to what I know on this one. I do like that when you say that you have no dependents on your return, she says, "You come with no strings attached," which is something I'm totally putting on my Tinder profile now. Yeah, baby, I have no dependents if you catch my drift. After lying about my birthday, but keeping my age the same because she might not have a grandpa fetish, we get to the spicy stuff. The forms. And yeah, we're keeping this simple. We're just doing our W-2 form. That's all I've done, and that's all I know. She also calls crypto a pyramid scheme after you answer whether or not you received any cryptocurrency in 2022. I mean, I'm glad to see there's some personality to this totally normal human girl that definitely isn't a synthetic human made by the IRS to trick weebs into thinking taxes are sexy and should be filed. At least she asked for my phone number, which I totally gave her a fake one. Let's see how it feels when the shoe's on the other foot. Also, Iris types with her forefinger instead of her thumbs on a phone. Gross, I know. I also gave her my totally real email. On to the next day, which is April 18th, aka Tax Day. See, you're gonna want to remember that because it's very important to the plot of the game. Just in case you didn't pick up on that, I just wanted to be sure you knew that. You head to the library and end up snooping through her journal she writes in. You can edit any incorrect information about you in it. She got my last name wrong. She remembered my middle name, but not my last name. Who the hell remembers somebody's middle name over their last name? I don't even remember my mom's middle name. Do strangers even give each other their middle names at introductions? I mean, I shouldn't be upset by this, considering all the information I've given her up to this point has been falsified, but still, like, damn. You end up going to an office with her and fixing a broken photocopier. Oh yeah, the photocopier. Important plot point. Just trust me on this. You end up fixing it by just keyboard mashing in the game autofilling text. Okay, now we're at the part where I knew this game wasn't screwing around. So Iris wants you to scan your tax forms on the photocopier, but here's the thing though. They want your actual real forms. Like legit ones you file in real life. And no, you cannot skip this section. This is required to progress in the game. And there is no way I am giving this game my actual W-2. So you know what I did? I went to a website so I could write up a fake W-2. And after spending time writing that thing up, I go to send it to myself. Now I have to make an account on this website. And I also have to pay for a trial version so I can download my fake W-2. I mean, sure, I could have found another website to try and find a free version of this, but I already filled out the W-2, okay? I'm not going to be doing this for a third time. I mean, at least, you know, the trial was only like $1.95, but I just got to remember to like cancel my subscription within a week or they're going to charge me the full price. And yeah, I'm not going to remember that. So I submit my totally legit W-2 and now I have to fill it out again in the game. Are you kidding me? Remember, I've already done my taxes this year and now I'm doing them again. But it's okay though, because Iris is here to help me. She stops you in the middle of filling out your form and warns you to never use corporate tax software. Even the in-game music stops when this happens. This game is bonkers. It makes you put in your actual personal information, then submit actual real tax documents, and then hits the pause button, all that, just to tell you how evil corporations like TurboTax are. I mean, don't think I'm saying the game's wrong about that part. No, I used TurboTax one time and they tried charging me a bunch of service fees for a bunch of useless things. I didn't even need to file my taxes. Yeah, you can file your taxes for free. I mean, if you want to pay like a fee for convenience sake, go ahead, but I ain't doing that. At least federally, I'm not even going to get into state stuff. Speaking of TurboTax, there's a TurboTax character that shows up later in the game, and the game doesn't hold back on roasting him. He's checked out books from the library called Brainwashing from a Psychological Viewpoint, A History of the IRS, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. He tries offering you his services for doing taxes, but you just refuse. He gets angry when you tell him that Iris is helping you do your taxes for free instead. He says, "That's highly unusual, you know? Do your friends often help you with your taxes?" I mean, I don't think it's unusual. I help my friends with their taxes all the time.
He helped me with my taxes, and now I owe the IRS $5,000. I don't even live in America. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he had a book checked out on synthetic humans. I don't know if the game is saying that like TurboTax made a synthetic human to help people do taxes, and that's what Iris is. Like maybe she escaped and she's helping people do taxes for free and like TurboTax is trying to track her down like she's Weapon X or something. I don't know, because the game doesn't really delve into this any further. You answer more tax-related questions that Iris asks, like, you know, your profession. I mean, I told her that I'm a prostitute, and my social security number is 555555555. You know, the same as Dale Gribble's.
That's not even enough numbers.
5.
Oh, don't worry. There's some spice in here for all of those who want a little bit of romance in their game about filing taxes. You get asked if you're a qualified educator at some point by Iris, you know, for tax purposes. If you answer no, she says, "I'll be your student sometime. I bet you could probably teach me a thing or two." I mean, yeah, I could teach her how to be a prostitute. Okay, step 1. Get a pimp. Before we get to the end of the game, I'll mention that there are other characters you run into that tell you all about Iris. The barista at the coffee shop talks about the abomination of a drink she makes for her that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. And the lady at the library talks about how Iris just reads everything and goes through a book like she's a machine. Like a machine. Look, I'm all for like rogue tax filing sense, okay? Just, we'll have like Blade Runner, but instead of Harrison Ford hunting down replicants, it's just like a TurboTax agent. You end up having your final date with Iris in her room. You go through her journal and verify all of your tax information is filed correctly. It even tells you if you owe any money back in taxes and gives you an actual IRS agency address on where to send it. And the process of submitting your return becomes this whole sexual metaphor with lines thrown in like, "Are you nervous? It's okay, this is my first time completing a tax return with someone too. We'll do it together. at whatever pace you're comfortable at. Ready? This may take a second. It's a lot of pages after all. And before it gets too spicy, the game actually downloads your return form onto your computer. It's just so romantic if you ask me. The perfect way to end our date. Except for the part where I apparently owe the IRS over $3,000 according to my return. After all of it's over, Iris confesses her love for you. You confess your love to her as well, and the game ends on a happy note. Besides the whole owing the IRS money, that part kind of blows. You know, honestly, I should submit that form to the IRS just to see what happens. You know what? At worst, I'll get fined $500 minimum. You know, thug life. We out here falsifying our tax records just like all the other rich people and politicians in this country. Except the difference between me and them is, I bet they didn't have their wife who helped them falsify their tax records. I know, right? Pathetic. Yeah, that's the end of the game. It really was all about filing your taxes. I mean, I saw people comment that she didn't like romance them. I guess I'm just better at filing my taxes than they are. Yeah, out of all the dating sims I've played, this one actually served a purpose that just wasn't making me hate myself after finishing it. Am I ever going to use this for actually filing my taxes like next year? No. Besides, from what I've seen, it only helps you file your federal tax returns. I mean, I guess they could release a DLC for doing your state taxes as well. We've hit that point now. Like, we're past the point of parodying our products. Like, how do you parody a game about filing your taxes in an anime dating simulator? You can't. Just... parody is dead. We have killed it. Also, do not give this game your actual information if you end up playing it like, haha, IRS-chan is helping me with my taxes, ooh woo. No, do not simp for the federal tax system, you weirdos.